that's running. Now let me start the stream. The accessible stream. Okay. Streaming now. Okay, I am amazed at how bad of a video quality I have, even though the damn thing, I mean, I know it's going up to Google servers. I'm not stupid. But even though it's literally sitting right next to this computer, I'm literally shocked at how bad the video quality is.
Yeah, it's not great.
I know. And this is why I always want to entertain the idea of using different services. This video quality is putrid. Okay.
You slimmed down a bit, Door.
What?
I said, you've slimmed down a bit. I can see it.
You'll have that. When you can't eat sugar and you can't drink soda and you can't eat ice cream and you can't eat cookies or crackers or bread. No bread. Coworker said, no bread. I'll just rather die. Oh, wait. No, I forgot. He said, it's a really painful, long death where you like lose limbs and stuff. So I guess I wouldn't eat bread.
What? Eating bread does that to you or not eating bread?
Diabetes. You can't eat anything basically white or sugar.
Dang. Oh.
Yeah, what most people don't realize is carbohydrates are just long chain sugars.
Well, yeah, and in your body they get turned into sugars.
That big bowl of pasta is just a big bowl of sugar.
Yeah. Yeah, and I had to explain to a coworker, no. The pill I take does not give me a free pass to eat what I want. The pill I take makes sure my diabetes doesn't get any worse is the goal of it, okay? The pill does not mean now I can just go ahead and eat what I want, because one coworker's mad because now for lunch I can't go down to Ann's Dairy Cream and get a double dog foot long with chili and cheese, because this place, they don't even have plates. So I can't ask for a double dog chili dog with no bread. You know, like fall through my fingers. So yeah.
So it's not full enough that it spills over the sides.
It is a little bit, but you have tools basically that allow. I'm sorry, I'm trying to get this damn thing. This it's wrapped in like clear plastic, and the dog, so just a little bit comes out of its sides. It's a big piece of bread. I'll say, and I'm really pissed how bad it's performing. Wow, like the video in OBS will lock up literally like for 30 plus seconds. And I'm sitting there like this.
Of course.
Of course. Okay. Episode 466. Mark, let me hit transition.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to Android App Addicts, episode 466, and may the 4th be with you. I am your host, Mark, sometimes known as the Sultan of the Soapbox, Cockrell, and joining me this week, as always, are your friends and mine, the DoorToDoorGeek, Mr. Steve McLaughlin, and Eric, the exalted one, the great one, the executive, Arduini. Hey, gentlemen.
The great one.
That was Burgess Meredith. I don't know.
Man, you've got a great beard going, Mark. I gotta say that. It seems like it must have been longer than 2 weeks since I saw you last. You got some growth happening with those follicles. Good job. I actually Saturday entered myself into a beard contest, so it will not be shaven until August of this summer. I'm not going to shave it till the day before, well, maybe a couple days before the actual first round. I'll get it trimmed up and shaped or whatever, but.
So you're not going to get it shaved in August this spring or August this winter, but August this summer.
Yeah, that's the August I plan on getting it shaped up.
And yeah, Mark has unbelievably active testosterone hair follicles. That I've noticed from week to week. It literally looks like he goes through a time machine sometimes for a month.
That's just what happens when you kick that much butt. You know, it just.
Yeah, I stopped shaving. I took a week off for Christmas, and I didn't shave there. And I went back after the New Year, and one of my coworkers said, I went away for a couple of days, and Mark apparently went away for a month. He came back with a beard. I've trimmed it a few times. It's very thin, but it's long, so it's not as impressive as you might think. I've got a brother-in-law who could grow a beard between breakfast and lunch. He's one of those guys.
Nice.
Yeah, my stuff seems to grow very quickly for the first 2 days. I mean, my wife says I'm like Homer Simpson, where you shave and then before the razor touches the sink, I already have stubble again. But it doesn't grow longer than 1/8 of an inch. I can leave it there for like 6 weeks and it's still the same length.
I'm kind of at a sweet spot in my career there. Well, really, it's the one good thing that I owe to the millennials is that they have made the professional career and the big beard socially acceptable for the first time, since I've been working. So I'm taking advantage of it.
Yeah, I mean, like that's like the artwork going around saying 20 years ago, this is what lumberjacks look like. This is what web people look like. Now, 20 years in the future, they look completely opposite. Where now the web developer has a beard and wears plaid.
Interesting bit of trivia. No president since the invention of television has had a beard. All presidents prior to that did.
Huh. Do you think television has anything to do with it?
I'm sure it does.
Well, we all know, quote unquote, aka some of us know, since John F. Kennedy, Richard Nixon, the way that Nixon looked like he was dead because of the bad coloration, and the way that Kennedy in that debate proved the look of your teeth is more important than what comes out of your mouth. And he won an election. But I digress. This is not history, hyper history, something. I don't know. I can't.
So we did miss
Famous Beards of History.
Oh, that's a good podcast.
I
love that one.
Those
guys are great.
So anyway, we did miss last week. I honestly don't remember why. I think two of us or three of us had family stuff. So it has been a while since we've been back. I am happy to be back. Eric, you weren't even with us the last time. So it has been about 3 weeks since you saw me.
There you go. Yeah. Last week, the wife wanted to do something for me for my birthday, even though it still isn't even my birthday, but it was a one-night event at a restaurant that they were serving Johnny Walker paired foods. And half of the food I couldn't eat, but let me tell you something, I could drink that Johnny Walker.
Okay, that good, because I was really confused by how she was taking you out for your birthday on my birthday. So that was weird. Or
happy birthday.
It wasn't exactly my birthday, but it was close to it.
Oh, Luke's happy birthday.
Thanks.
And of course, today is May 4th, as I mentioned, and tomorrow is the day when millions of people will drink beer in celebration of a small skirmish that actually had nothing to do with Mexican independence.
Which is why I went to a Mexican restaurant today for lunch, because I'm sure in the hell not going tomorrow.
Good. So you mean I don't have to drink tequila tomorrow? I can drink beer. That's okay. That's exciting.
Sure.
Nice. Dos Equis.
Yeah, that's all right. I like the red, the dark one, Dos Equis Amber. That's good stuff.
All right. Well, enough of this drivel. Let's talk about Android something or other. Door?
Right. 2 quickies that's not an app per se, but 2 things I just found interesting. One of them I'm actually going to bring to the mini PC show next week, because it just happened today. And it's mini's PC, but it really is also Android. There's a new operating system that's released called VolksPC. VolksPC. Now, us hardcore Android enthusiasts and Linux weenie combination merger have known for years you've been able to do a thing called chroot on your Android device and spin up a Debian Linux OS basically like in the background on the side. And then to connect to it, you had to do a little bit of extra trickery to get to it. Well, what VolksPC is claiming is you will be able to basically like Alt and Tab between a full Linux desktop running on a single board computer, a Raspberry Pi type computer. You'll be able to Alt Tab from a full Linux desktop into a Android desktop. Almost like virtualization parallels back in the day, but now with Linux and Android. And I found that to be really interesting because you can't do everything you need to on a Linux desktop, and you can't do everything you maybe want to do on an Android type operating system. So this might be a compromise.
Volks, by the way, is German for people's, and like the Volkswagen is the people's car. So this is the people's PC.
Yeah, and this is the kind of thing. I actually do have a Odroid C2, which is the device that is at least shown in the article. In the house, up and running. The problem is it's up and running, and it's running Android upstairs on the main living room TV, and that's our home theater PC running Android to where we can access Netflix, Kodi, Google Play, Plex, all those things from that one central device. So for me to tell the kids, you're not going to be able to watch stuff you want tonight on this because I'm going to play with it is not really acceptable. But I might have to buy a second one.
So this can run on a mini PC. It's not like running Android in a virtual instance on Linux or vice versa.
I'm sure one of them is a completely virtualized environment. It's just running in what's called a seamless mode, where basically there's a hotkey combination that will let you switch from full screen mode from one to the other. So one of them is virtualized. Now, the Odroid C2 does have 2 gigs of RAM.
Okay.
And that's going to be one of the biggest shortcomings. Whenever you say the word virtualization or Java, you know it's going to take a lot of RAM to satisfy those needs. So 2 gigs of RAM isn't an extreme amount of RAM. Hopefully it's enough is what I'm going to say.
So they haven't released the minimum specs or anything, or given a hint of where it would be a good place to try it on.
Honestly, I just saw the article today and bookmarked it and just looked at the video a little bit. I didn't have a chance to do a lot of research into it, but I am really interested in it.
Yeah, I'd also be interested in how easy it is to get on maybe like older PC hardware too.
On Windows, on like x86, 64, 32-bit, 64-bit, you're not going to get it to run.
Okay, so it's going to be ARM stuff.
ARM stuff. And what I didn't realize, what I didn't see was this is not a free downloadable operating system. Nudge, nudge. If you go to Torrent, it is. But if you go to the official website, they want to charge you $15 for the operating system, which is definitely a departure from normal stuff.
Well, if it works, it's worth $15 easily.
I'm not going to argue that. Yeah.
You could be my guinea pig and I'll listen to the mini PC show.
I know, but it's going to take at least a week because I'm going to have to get a second one in because, I can't take it away from the wife and kids. Mm-hmm. The second one really quicker. This was just something I saw again on XDA. It's called Forget Windows, Use Linux, FWUL. Just rolls off the tongue. Yeah. This is a bootable OS that I believe its goal is to make it easier to do things like flashing, rooting, and ROMing Android devices to where you don't have to worry about Windows drivers. Because I can tell you, trying to do all that stuff in Windows, it's 10 times at least more painful than doing it in Linux. My big thing is this is literally like 3 years too late. If this was 3 or 4 years ago, this would have got mass adoption very quickly. If this is literally just a bootable OS that you can play with and do your Android stuff on it, it's only going to get a little bit of popularity. But I thought it was interesting enough, at least to mention once.
Yeah, I saw an article about this pop up, and I thought the same thing. It's too little, too late. The ship has sailed for mass Android use or mass Linux use. Just
Well,
has.
I'll say the ship has sailed, and we're not even using ships anymore. We now have teleportation. I don't think. Yeah, it's way past due.
All right, let me read an email. Don't I have an email? I have one here. Hold on. Wait for it. No, I don't have an email. Never mind.
No email.
We have some people to thank for their Patreon pledges, but no email. I thought we did have one. Well, surely there's one in here somewhere. No, this is all stuff we've already done before. I should have looked at this ahead of time. Sorry.
Well, that's okay. And I'll mention to you guys here, because why not? I screwed up our email for aaa@podnutz.com in the sense of now you should be seeing too many emails.
Yes.
That will be fixed. I promise. And I'm saying it on the show just to make sure it's going to happen quicker than slower.
So just out of curiosity, how much Google storage do you use? Like my Gmail right now, I've had this account for 15-ish years, and I'm using 1.8 gigs, 11% of my 15 gigs allowed. Just wondered, am I normal?
Where do you see that easily?
At the bottom of every page.
Yeah, in Gmail. Mine for some reason. Well,
I'm at 76% of my 17 gigs. I got 12.95 gigs used.
You use a lot more Google storage than I do.
I'm using 143 gigs.
And you're at 2% of your terabyte?
13. I'm at 13%. I use it for my backups. Entirety of podnutz.com gets SSH down to my local computer, copied to another folder for after it validates all the files. Then I use an application called InSync to sync it up to my Google Drive, because that's the only official way, in air quotes, to connect a Linux machine to a Google Drive. And because I pay for it, I'm basically guaranteed for it to keep working and keep getting updates when they change Google Drive.
Yeah, I use Dropbox for that. So anyway, sorry for that aside. Let's shake things up a little bit. And Eric, why don't you bring us the first app?
Well, since Door talked about XDA, I want to talk about XDA real quick too. 2 weeks ago, I hinted, 3 weeks, whatever. 2 shows ago, I hinted that I was going to tell everybody how to fix their problems on the Samsung Note 4.
Yeah, that was one of the emails by asking how to do it.
So here is a link in the show notes here, or in the notes here. This is the XDA forum that I used to fix it. Now, I'm going to say this. I did 2 things. Here's the problem. I did 2 things at the exact same time, but it fixed. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but then you don't know which one did it.
Then you don't know which one did it. It doesn't cost much to do this XDA thing, which is basically you install an app called WakeLock Power Manager. And I don't know if everybody's Note 4 is so bad, but my Note 4 was so bad that I could not. It was just by chance whether it would boot enough to do anything or if it was just a brick. I never knew. So I followed the directions on this. I got to boot enough to do this, and it worked. But another thing I also tried, which I think I may have heard about in an XDA forum also, it was a new battery. So I also I bought a new battery and put it in at the same time. And I ran. Okay, let me. I'm sorry. I'm kind of stumbling because I'm trying to get the Amazon link for the exact battery that I bought to put that in here. It was an Anker, no bigger size, I don't think. Just the actual replacement with the NFC Google Wallet antenna in it or whatever that it needs. So So and it wasn't the cheapest battery. It's $16.99 on Amazon with Prime shipping. You know, there are other ones for $9, but I know Anchor. I used to always use their products when I had the computer shop, so I went with that one. So between the two of them, my phone has not froze up, has not rebooted. I've had no issues. So on the wake lock, all you do is you install that and you run it, and you would run it. It's a very basic program, but then you put, I used partial wake lock, and that was enough to work just fine. Now I've rebooted the phone a couple times, let the battery go dead a couple times, and I have not been reinitializing the partial wake lock. I have not uninstalled Wake Lock Power Manager. I still have it on my phone, but I'm not actively setting this wake lock, and I have no clue what it does. And it's by Darken, and it's tools, and it gets pretty good ratings, 4.4 in the store. It seems like it's got 2214 for ratings of people who have left a rating. So it seems like quite a few people are using it. But the 1-2 punch of the new battery and that is the thing that brought back this Note 4 from being a pile of junk, which my son never really, never told me it was that bad. I thought it was done. I really was not sure it was going to happen.
How old is this phone?
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, it's at least 3 years old.
Hmm?
How old is the phone?
Yeah, probably 3 years.
Yeah, I know they sell a lot of these devices, and I know and I believe the correct term is, and I know it's a cognitive bias, but how can people keep buying Samsung devices is my question.
Well,
no other phones have these kinds of issues, period. No other phones goes out of its way to inhibit end user rights privileges to access the actual source of the phone. No other manufacturer has had literally the number of exploding devices in the world. No other company spends more on advertising and marketing and less money on actual research and development of devices than Samsung.
Okay.
It just continuously blows me away. And I'm sure it's just a bias. There's so many sold out there that, it's like the red cars getting these speeding tickets.
I gotta say, to stand up for this phone, I mean, honestly, this phone will run circles around my Nexus 5X still, even though it's 3 years old, and my Nexus is maybe 1.5, maybe 1.5, 2 maybe. It's a much more powerful phone. The screen looks much better. I love the OLED, and I hadn't used it for a year, so I'm just coming back to it. It holds up to being dropped, and I could go on Amazon and buy a replacement battery for it, which may have been the issue. I can pop the back off. I can put a new SIM card in it. I can put a new SD card in it, and I can put a new battery in it in 2 seconds. I don't have to take out any tools. I don't have to melt the screen to get to the battery, anything like that. That's the attaboys I give for the Note 4, which the new Note, since then are all done. I mean, you can't pop the backs off and change the battery. So that's the things I loved about this phone are all gone. But there's also, it seems like, and here's another thing, I would probably throw this out there to anybody who has a Note 4, and it seems like it's super easy, but everybody, that Note 7 that caught on fire and got recalled, well, that firmware, I guess, is really easy to put onto the Note 4 and turn your Note 4 into a Note 7 with all the software and the extra stylus features and all the extra stuff that they've added over the last 3 years since this one came out. So that would be a bonus, but I have not tried that yet because go ahead.
I'm sorry. I would say if you've ever considered buying a Samsung phone, the Samsung Galaxy 8 is the phone you want to buy, because this is the one that the company is betting everything on. After the fiasco of the 7, they can't afford to fail on the 8. This is going to be the best device they've ever made.
It looks decent. I mean, I don't know. My main use for this Note 4 though is Oculus and the Samsung Gear VR that Bill had sent me. So I'm afraid to ROM it or root it or change it, because as soon as I dock it into this Oculus Gear VR, the Oculus software takes over the whole phone, and it's no longer an Android it's a totally different device, and I'm afraid I'm going to lose that functionality if I mess with it too much. Once I, drop the Gear VR on the ground and it breaks into 1,000 pieces or something happens, then I'll play with it more. But I'll tell you what, it does get hot in that Oculus Rift. It doesn't take long for it to start giving me warnings of overheating. But I hear that's still an issue even on the Google Pixels with the Daydream headset. So it's just a VR thing, when you're using a phone for that.
Yeah, when the screen's on, the processor's on, and the radios are streaming all at once, you're going to generate heat and kill battery.
Well, and ironically enough, that might be what actually caused the issue with the phone, was it overheating. It just happens. That much heat on devices are not good. And my example of heat the past week was I used Chauffeur, which is the app I brought months ago from Comma AI, which was the application written by George Hotz, the hacker for automated driving AI. And you use the Chauffeur app on your Android device to help him collect data early on, kind of thing. And it got a big upgrade in the last couple of weeks. I turned it on the other day all the way home from work. So the camera was on the whole time. The screen was on the whole time. The battery was getting charged the whole time. It was writing gigs of data down to the drive. And it was, and because I enabled uploading via 4G, it was then uploading multiple gigs of data all the way home. By the time I got home, I literally couldn't almost not touch my phone. It was that hot. So I haven't launched Chauffeur since then.
Well, this Samsung device was never in a Gear VR until after I got it back from my son, because I found out that even though I gave him the Oculus Rift Gear VR headset and the phone, he never put them together because physically, like I said on the last time I was on here, it physically does not fit in that, even though it was made for it. I had to take the snippers out and modify it to make it work. But yeah, sure. I'm sure I've gotten it hot many times, and he probably did too, playing games or whatever on it. That could have been. I'm saying it's the battery, though. I'm saying the Anker battery brought it back to life.
Well, at 3 years, that's about the average life expectancy of a battery anyway. So I think you're right.
Well, the symptoms were, though, it would just get super hot and the battery would drain quickly. It acted like there was processes running in the background. It wasn't like it wouldn't charge or anything. It was an odd, I didn't pinpoint it to the battery without looking up a forum post. That was not what I was guessing what was going wrong. It's just, but yeah, definitely it needs a nice steady stream of power going in to them processors.
All right, Dor, your first app, please, my friend.
What I'm going to bring is a 3D design application that I got suggested to try because I don't want to say the industry standard, but it seems like the most popular one is called Fusion 360 from AutoCAD, who is the premier CAD software company. They do not have a version for Linux. If you even go to the website and try to download their installable on Linux, you get a message saying it's only for Windows 7 computers and higher that are 64-bit or Mac computers. And then if you go to Wine HQ to look at its compatibility on Wine on Linux, they basically laugh at you and say nothing about it is compatible. So I had to look for an alternate solution on how to do designing and stuff, because I really want to get into this. If you listen to DDG, a 3D Maker podcast is coming on Podnutz sooner than later. So I want to get into this now and start to learn about designing things for printing. And this one, I'm going to tell you now, I'm very impressed, at least so far. Knowing nothing, I'm very impressed. The web interface, you can run this on Linux on a web browser connecting to their company. The free account, everything you do is public. To have a private account costs $100 a month. So this is really intended for a shop making things for sale for their pay plan. I don't mind doing everything in the public. It's okay. I'm not going to design anything super secret. And they have an Android app. Now, my experience is on the Android app, you need a tablet. You need a larger screen. Touch screen, I'm not going to say is absolutely mandatory because you can do most of what you need to do with the mouse. I didn't really see anything that made me think I had to have a touch screen, but it definitely worked on Android. The web interface was much, much smoother, but I do appreciate the fact that they have an Android client for this.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm sorry, and it's called Onshape, again, from Onshape, Onshape, E for everyone. 832 reviews, 4.4 average reviews, updated May 4th, 2017, aka today, between 50,000 and 100,000 installs.
Nice. This is their only app. And did you get a chance to look through their library of public things? I mean, there's quite a few people using this to get projects out there. I mean, not that they want to, but they just made projects with it that are now out there.
I know a couple of people that said before they found Fusion 360, this is what they used and they liked it. It worked well.
Hey, Mark, are you gonna give Isaac Pfeiffer's review a little?
Well, I was just looking. This is definitely the cross section of the maker space and the tinfoil hat space. I'm not sure which one you're referring to, though. I don't see that name. Reviews are so weird. Not everybody sees the same thing.
Isaac says, "Oh my god, I can model on my phone, export to STL, upload the Octoprint, slice and print. Fantastic."
Yeah, he literally spelled "oh my god," ERMUHGERD. Ermargerd.
Yeah, I see that one now. It's on page 2 for me. And also, there's a whole lot of people saying, I have to sign up for an account. No go. Won't do it. I have to give you an email address. Nuh-uh. What do you want, people?
Really?
You get industry quality modeling for free. Yes, they expect to send you some marketing emails.
Can you imagine how much work went into making this app?
Well, considering they charge $100 for the business account, yes, and I'm guessing it's a lot.
And if you're a shop, $100 is totally worth it. It's easy, cheap.
Oh yeah, yeah, and that's one of the things that now I'm starting to believe more. You got to spend money to make money, and if you're making money and not spending money, whatever you're doing, it's going to drop out of support or disappear. When you're paying for something, the other company is obligated to keep it up and keep working on it.
That's my motto for 2017. Pay for what you like. And I've just come to believe that is the only way to make sure that what you like stays around. Pay for it.
Yeah. And that's the thing.
Yeah.
I don't think of it as paying for what I like. I think of it as bribing them to please continue on.
Eric, what's your next app, sir?
My next app is called Newsbreak Local and Breaking. And it's a very visual news app. I could see this being really good for cord cutters because it's and people who don't get the newspaper delivered to their house. It's a way that you can get local news delivered to your phone. If you're not subscribed to your local, TV stations or whatever, you don't have their app installed already. This kind of pulls all of the news sources around you. It's not just for local news. It covers everything. I mean, there's things it learns your likes, so it'll kind of make a page for you. Videos, hottest on YouTube, technology are the ones that I've signed up for. There's a big list when you first start up, kind of like Flipboard, I guess, where you can pick all the different news that you think you may be interested in, but you don't have to see everything. So I didn't want to go too crazy with it. I wanted to keep it kind of focused and use the local part because that's kind of nice. But it's a nice visual way to do it.
Finally, after all this time, there's a way to get internet news articles on my phone. I've been waiting for this for years. Sarcasm font.
No, yeah, it's about time.
I can't stop Google from giving me news on my phone.
Yeah, Google doesn't really see my local news, though. You know what I mean? It doesn't. We're so small. We have a newspaper. We have a radio. We have like 3 radio stations. They're not in. Google does not do the hyper local stuff for me.
Hui Poo says there are many apps in the news store. What makes this app shiny is local news. Excellent coverage that I no longer need my local newspaper subscription. Save me a couple of bucks every month. I suggest if I could add local TV and radio. So if you're still reading a newspaper, this is the app for you.
That's kind of where I sit, I guess.
Lots of complaints about the ads. What has your experience been there?
Oh, it's got ads. I mean, it's got ads like everything else. Lately the apps have gotten much worse too. I don't know if you guys have noticed this, but just the full page 30-second ads that you can't in any way get rid of in between levels of a game or in between slides of a picture show or whatever. It's very intrusive, but that's what you get for free. You know what I mean?
And there's no option to pay for this to make the ads go away. It doesn't look like.
No, unfortunately, they're making money off the ads. That's how they like it.
Today, though, between 1 million and 5 million installs. So it's a thing. All right. Back to you, my friend, Mr. DoorToDoorGeek.
Okay. The app I'm going to bring, we brought an app, I believe it was on, I don't remember if it was the last show with me and you, Mark, or if it was a show with me and Eric, where it was, it was me and Eric. It was the
Rube Goldberg one?
Rube Goldberg machines, aka pointless machines. And I
was listening to that podcast going, I can't believe you people don't know who Rube Goldberg is. So yeah, I definitely wasn't here for that one.
So what okay. Was he an inventor? Was he a scientist? Was he an engineer?
He was a cartoonist for the New York Times. He drew these elaborate cartoons.
That explains why I don't know who he is.
Yeah. Did he do Family Circle?
Family Circle. No, I mean the only thing I'm least interested in media or mass media is weather, I think. Maybe. But I don't know who this is. Maybe you do. Pettson. I got pinged by a listener that said he's a big fan of the Rube Goldberg machine mechanism kind of thing, and this was the game that he found that he fell in love with. It. Pettson's Invention. I will say I really do like the artwork, the graphic style of this game. But it's the same basically theory principle with you have to basically start a stage and you have to invent, you have to put things together put many things together in order to get the effect of what you want done. It's kind of like a puzzle game, I'll say.
It looks really cool. I'm just too cheap to spend $3 for it.
Yeah, it looks. I gotta agree with you, Dor. I like the way it's animated. Looks like you just grab some of there's parts laying on the side, and you got to use those parts to make whatever happen.
Yeah,
it'll be familiar though. For some reason.
Well, I agree. Something about it to me does look familiar. I would say the only thing that makes me understand why it isn't free is it literally does look like everything is hand drawn, whether it is or not. I doubt it actually is, but it definitely gives that impression that it's all hand drawn kind of thing. I'm a big fan of the style, but yes, this is where I encourage people. Without sounding stupid, we are the first podcast I ever heard talk about it. Google opinion rewards, aka give up a touch of your privacy and get free money. If you like money, I like money. You can get money and buy this with Google's own money. Like the inward money too.
And before the internet corrects me on my newspaper, it was the New York Evening News. New York Evening Mail, not the New York Times.
Oh, don't think I've ever even heard of that one.
Well, that's because it was in 1922.
Oh, well, let's see. This is what I tell my father. If it happened before I was born, the likelihood of me knowing about it goes down exponentially. Unless it somehow directly has affected my life today. Like, a former president of the U.S., there's better odds of me knowing about him. I'm not going to say that I know a lot about him, but, it's the probability,
All right, Eric, one more time.
One more time. All right, I'm going to bring a game then. And this one is called, I'm going to say it's called BAIKOH. So, does that sound good? Even though you haven't seen the way it's spelled yet?
I like bacon.
Yeah, well, it's called BAIKOH. It's BAIKOH. And it is, it's got the icon of a skull. It has nothing to do with the spelling.
Not Proud is the name of the company. That's awesome.
Yeah, I'm not proud. And it's a spelling game. It's kind of like Tetris and Scrabble put together, where there's pieces of squares and circles and stuff falling down from the top, and you basically tap on words and then swipe up to make those pieces go away. As you use the piece goes away, you get to the top, you lose. It's not real easy. Not a real easy game. Can't use any names. I tried to use the word tapas, like a small Mexican plate, was not a word. It's kind of a frustrating game. You got to go quick, and you really got to. It uses your brain. It's better. It's better for you than a bubble pop game. Okay, you got to use your brain.
And it's fast too. Looking at the video,
it's fast. Yeah, it's a tough game.
It says it's exciting as your grandma.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know.
All I know is this: if there is such a place of hell, and I go there, I'm going to have to do something spelling related. I'm pretty sure that's how bad I am at spelling. I mean, does it accept the word A or I? Because technically it's a word. And there better be a lot of A's and I's on the board, or else there's no chance of me doing anything right on that.
I was happy it was taking my 3-letter words that I was, throwing at it. And it's kind of like Scrabble. The better the word, the more difficult, the more letters, the higher the points he gives you.
Yeah, Scrabble.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I can see the Scrabble people being all over this and like going crazy.
You can have death matches with your friend.
Yeah, I didn't get into anything other than the solo kind of round thing.
Man, Mark was right. I'm gonna tell you now. Whoever they paid to do this video, because they did not do this video themselves, good job, good investment is what I'm going to say. Because that is one of the better videos I think I've ever seen on the Google Play.
I didn't even watch the video. I'm hoping it's well, the game's decent, so you know what I mean. It's one of those games that even though it has a video, it's okay.
Gotcha.
I like it. I don't know that I can. This looks like a game that requires more brains than I, have on a given day.
Watching the video now, it doesn't start out nearly that fast.
Okay.
So you're not, in the beginning anyway. Yeah, you'll be all right.
Because I like games like you said, bubble pop games, just in between meetings and stuff. When I have a few spare cycles, this looks like it would consume all of my spare cycles, and then force me to quit my job and become a street bum trying to beat the game.
Yeah, this isn't casual. This isn't bubble pop. I don't even know what category casual. I don't know. Bubble pop is somewhere below casual. I think it's if you have a finger and you have a phone, that's definitely a game.
Yeah, I consider those to be Facebook games.
Yes. Yeah.
And your brain is not required. All you need to do is be able to identify colors.
Which we all
anything else, Eric?
3
You
years.
got a tank to empty?
Oh, me? Are we
Yeah.
empty a tank? Yes, I've got one little live wallpaper I'd like to bring from. This is from the Code Conditor, the doctor.
The doctor.
And this is called Chess Gyro 3D Live Wallpaper. This is the free version I'm posting in here. There is also a, there's also a paid version, like all of his, which is the XL, which gives you many more options and textures and things like that. Basically, this, I mean, I'm gonna say that this will warm your phone up and destroy your battery a little bit, probably. But if you're into chess and your friends are into chess and you want to look pretty cool with a chess wallpaper on your phone, this is it. I did get the XL version because he was a guest on our show before, and I'll always support those kind of people. So you can change it to like metal chess pieces, change the board to marble, lots of different things you can mess around with. But you can install it for free just to check it out without any, it looks cool. The free version looks just fine on your phone. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you guys right now. The doctor is the guy's nickname who develops all these apps, and we had him on a show. Go back and listen if you want to. He made it very clear that he does his parallax in a way that he knows for a fact nobody else is doing it. And he said his parallax is the most accurate real life parallax anybody is doing on any mobile platform kind of thing. And I can tell you by watching this video, this thing looks stunning. I mean, the graphics, number one, are sharp all around, but the movement of it is just crazy good.
Yeah, it's very impressive.
It makes you not want to have icons on your screen.
Yep.
Right. It makes you like, hey, look into my phone. Look inside. What's going on? I'm a chess player inside of my phone somewhere there. It's like the first. Remember when we were little kids and the first time we saw that hologram eagle on the front of a Time magazine, and we're like flipping the page back and forth. How did they get that eagle to be like inside the magazine like that? I don't know. I was there. Maybe you guys weren't. But the first time I saw a hologram, I was really freaked out. And it was a 3D image on like a Time magazine or something. And I was like, whoa. And this is like that, only newer.
Yeah. And I'll just say, we are going to link to the free version of it, but I'm going to ask everybody. And this guy, number one, was really cool. And very smart. I encourage people, this is the kind of developer I like to support because I want to keep him on our platform. I want to keep him doing things like this because he is getting better with time, I will say. I really can't wait to see what he's doing in another year or two in terms of quality, because this is really crazy good.
This is clearly a labor of love.
Yeah.
Right,
And only 15 reviews. Oh man, for shame.
Well, hopefully we can do something about that.
Yeah.
That's all I had in my tank.
By the way, 15 reviews, 14 of them are 5-star, and one of them is 4-star. So good odds.
Very.
All right, Door. Don't empty your tank. I'm not sure that we have enough time for that. We'll be here all night, but give us 2 or 3 your top. Skim off the top of it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, just like take the head off the beer, which is something else I kind of can't bring. I had to download this and I had to install it. Period. Okay. It's called Office Space Idle Profits. If you don't know about the movie Office Space, I'm going to ask you to open up your podcast player go to Android App Addicts and click unsubscribe and go listen to something else. Because if you don't know what Office Space is, I'm not sure I want you as a listener. Okay. It is one of the movies of all time. It took one of the things from, was it Superman 2, Mark? The idea of skimming half pennies. Yeah, Superman 2 with Richard Pryor, another movie you should know. Well, I don't obviously know perfectly.
I think that was actually 3.
3.
Superman 2 was Zod.
Zod, you're right. Office Space was a movie where they took the idea of skimming fractions of pennies off and become rich, and just because they're American software programmers, they screw everything up just royally. So I had to download this game. It's called Office Space Idle Profits by Congregate with a K. Now, if you know Congregate is one of those websites that has insane numbers of flash games with insane numbers of ads on the website to try to pay for stuff. It's all free flash games. I do believe they might have paid stuff, but primarily free ad games. It does contain ads and have offers in-app purchases. I do believe you cannot purchase away the ads. This is called a simulation. Free to download, 4.3 average reviews, 14,000 total reviews. Updated May the 4th today, between 500,000 and 1 million installs, version 1.022. This really, if you're a really big fan of the movie, this might be cool to download and play with, but really, it's nothing more than one of those click and wait kind of games. Literally, the first couple minutes, it leads you through a tutorial where all you do is tap, you earn a penny, tap, you earn a penny. Oh, tap this other thing. Now tap, you earn a penny. Now tap the other thing, you can earn another penny. Now come back and tap, you earn a penny. Go tap the other thing, you earn a penny. It's very mundane.
I think I found myself tapping really fast on something on this, and it was penny.
Yeah, you can do that, and I did too. And then when I realized all my tapping is for nothing, and the goal is to get you to watch as many ads as possible for as long as possible, which is why you tap and you only earn a penny, kind of thing. If you're a diehard fan of the game, I will say download it, play with it. I mean, a diehard fan of the movie, download, play with it. You might have some fun.
Let me read this review from John Chavaria. This is one of those games where you don't really do anything but tap on your screen. If you're looking for an exciting game to play, or action-wise, or puzzles, this game is not for you. But if you enjoy building up virtual currency for some odd reason, this is the game for you. Very enjoyable, relaxing game. Cons: this game gets boring after a while. I've had it since they released it. Too much to handle when it comes to what you have to do to keep the game going. 6 out of 10 overall.
I gotta say, I love the cartoon caricatures of all the people in the game, and it just even looking at the screenshots here, when the Bobs are in the room, firing people, and my favorite.
I'm a people person.
My favorite line is, looks like you've been missing a lot of work. I wouldn't say I was missing it, Bob. That's the best. That's my favorite line in the movie.
Right.
You only have 10 pieces of flair.
Yeah. You know who else made you wear flair? Yeah. I do love the movie, which is why I had to download this. And that was a very fair review, but still, in my opinion, a very nice review. I would not give it 4 out of 5. I'd give it at the most 3 out of 5. Okay, what I'm going to bring next, I thought was going to be one of those instant internet phenomenon hits, just because of the name of it. And it's called Cats, C-A-T-S, right there. The only way to do better is unicorn cats or something. Or, I don't know, spinner hats or fake news cats or something. I don't know. But no, alas, this was not Cats the animal. Cats is short for Crash Arena Turbo Stars.
Okay.
So they tried to capitalize on Cats, but I'm not sure they really follow through correctly. What this basically, right? What this basically is, it's oh God, what's it called?
BattleBots.
BattleBots. Thank you very much. This is essentially BattleBots, where you have to design and build your own custom machine and then go into head-to-head battle with your opponent and see who gets killed.
Yeah, I mean, did you play it? Did you make a bot? It really looks like a fun game. I don't know why they would call it cats.
Well, I did, because if you watch the video, you'll learn. The cats are the ones steering the BattleBots. So when you kill the other machine, the cat comes flying out of it, because you can't kill the cat. That's just wrong.
It looks like it's one of those things where it would very quickly tell you that you
need coins,
need money. Yeah.
Yeah. I played it for about maybe 15, 20 minutes. And I'm sure it was coming. So I just played my 15, 20 minutes and said, oh, that was mildly entertaining. Let me give it to my son. And I did. And he too said to me, I don't understand why it's called Cats, Dad. I'm really confused. It was fun. He said, but and then 5 minutes later, oh, I get it now. Wait, does that mean I'm killing cats? And he got worried for a second. But again, it's called Cats Crash Arena Turbo Stars by Zep2 Lab. E for everyone, completely free to download. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah, free to download. 197,000 reviews. 4.6 average reviews. April 19th was the last date of an update, between 5 million and 10 million downloads. So obviously, if we want a successful podcast, we should call it Cats and then make it an abbreviation of something.
Yeah, I mean, with it being called Cats would probably make me never download it, but
obviously you're not
for bringing it.
You're welcome. It's just the kind of thing that when I saw, I just had to at least,
Here's one of the reviews that confirms my thoughts. Neat concept, lots of fun, but first you quickly hit the paywall with a few rounds of playing. The highest weapons you're given are at most 40 attack, while people in the same rank as you have weapons over 200 with 500 plus health. Makes it impossible to even win one round when you're given 4 level star pieces and they have 2 to 3 blue star weapons and bodies. Pay to win system that takes at most 2 hours to hit the paywall.
That explains why I didn't see it. And I'll say this, 2 hours isn't short. At least it's not 5 minutes.
In-app purchases, $1.99 to $104.99 per item.
Have some really good items, I guess.
I mean, this better come with dinner and breakfast in the morning. If I'm going to pay $104.99 for an in-app purchase.
Yeah, but you'd have like red power-ups though, when everybody else has only got blue.
It scares me what people spend their money on. It really does.
Yeah, just do some more surveys. You'll be all right. Just spend that cash.
That would be like 53,000 surveys. Have you been here? No, here's a dime.
No, I go, after I bought this spinner fidget at Walgreens, like within the hour, it's like, have you been to Walgreens? Yeah, 12 cents. Okay. No questions about what I did there or anything.
GPS.
A lot of times it'll ask me if I used a debit card or paid cash, and I'm like, I don't remember. Probably cash.
Right. Yeah, I'll just bring one more quickie. The least flamboyant and least flashy app maybe we've ever had on this show. It's simply called
text.
Even less, because that at least you could get something done with it. This is just called Changes by Saladevs, Saladevs. This is a unreleased application, quote unquote. So it's like a beta. It's in beta. E for everyone. No ads. No in-app purchases, completely free to download, no basic reviews. It has been updated since February, between 500 and 1,000 installs. It says it might be buggy because it's in unreleased, but I've had no problems with it. All this does is shows you all of your installed applications, and then the default order is sorts sort order is last updated app to the oldest updated app. And then basically you click on each of the app and you can see the change logs for each one of the apps. I said, I don't know if it was on this show now, that I'm really becoming a huge fan of change logs. And I've literally went to work and I've literally asked people, why don't we do change logs on our software and just in plain English words, have a bullet list of all the changes in these versions when we are pushing out updates? And the response I got back from the senior software developer was, what's a change log? To where I wanted to jump across the table. But I didn't. Instead, I just went to the bathroom. In the bathroom. I literally just
not on his desk. Okay, good.
No, I literally just walked out of the room and went to the bathroom.
And started writing change logs on the toilet paper?
No, I don't know why I had such a
record.
I got some logs for him. No,
here's some logs.
and I'll say in my youth, part of my lack of tact and professionalism, I truly believe stemmed from my irrational, in hindsight, expectation of people to think like me, or be on the same level that I am, and to have the same expectations for those people, because I am me and I'm different from everyone. I'm always let down. Doesn't matter who you are. If you expect everyone to be like you, you're going to be let down. So I just stopped. I needed to remind myself to stop expecting stuff and just stop being shocked.
My soul weeps at the thought of a world where everybody's like me.
Yeah, that's that. I don't want that. I hope that I'm trusting in the others to to keep this place going.
All right, so let me review our apps. First, we had a discussion about the VolksPC, and then we had Forget Windows, Use Linux, or FWL. Then there was Wake Lock Power Manager by Darken, Onshape by Onshape, News Break Local and Breaking by In Now, by Philemundus AB, BAIKOH by Mum Not Proud, Chess Gyro 3D Wallpaper by Conditor. Man, these are hard. Office Space Idle Profits by Congregate, Cats Crash Arena Turbo Stars by Zepto Labs, and Changes Unreleased by Saladevs. There you have it. For all those people that say we don't say the apps enough. I'm just going to let the silence linger.
I was like, so we've got a Patreon, right?
Yes.
Do we have a new Patreon door? Is that what I understood?
If you mean by we, not okay, yes, but no.
Okay.
The Patreon, there's a new Patreon, patreon.com/Podnutz, Patreon, patreon.com/Podnutz. Since Podnutz lost its Amazon affiliate, we're basically trying to recoup future revenue. I'm asking people, if you want to support the network as a whole, go there, donate, subscribe to donate $1. I'm not asking for more, because knowing Peruto's principle, 20% of the listeners should be able to provide 80% of the support we need. And I mathematically took the total number of unique IP addresses who download shows, because I use real statistical analytical download counting software, unlike every other podcast I've ever heard except for Twit. $1 from that 20% should be just fine to maintain the income that we were getting from Amazon. So far, we've only hit about 5 to 6%. So we do need a little bit of help to make it a little bit farther. If you want to support this show and uniquely Mark, Eric, and myself, then you go to patreon.com/Android App Addicts.
And shout out to Ken Heil and Mike McCool, who both went over and above that $1 mark. I won't be crass enough to say how much, but thanks, guys, for being the star level supporters that you are.
Yeah, I want to say thanks to everybody who, not even the new guys, but the people who have been contributing to Patreon for us. It really helps us come back here every week. And I feel bad when I can't make it every week, which sometimes I can't. And I've got another thing coming up in 2 weeks. But yeah, I don't know. It makes a big difference. And I also wanted to give a shout out to our Podnutz Android App Addicts community. If you guys are listening to the show, and you've got a Google Plus account or whatever, or Google account, go to our Google Plus, go to the Android App Addicts community, and all the show links to all of our apps are in there. And then also apps that other listeners like are in there where they put their suggestions. And I want to give a special shout out to Julian overall, because he's been putting some it's not something I can really bring to the show all the time, is icon packs for those people who like to customize their desktops. And he's been finding, he must have some secret sauce to find these icon packs that are free for a limited time. But he when he finds a good one, he puts it out on there. So if you like customizing your phone and making it look unique, an icon pack is an easy way to do it. And he's been posting some really good ones in our community there.
Well, Amazon announced they were killing the app of the week, and then they're killing, I believe it was called Amazon Underground, where you could get quote unquote free stuff. In
Right.
the inverse, Google announced a weekly free app, and literally 5 out of the 6 weeks so far, it's been icon packs.
Oh, okay.
Which I will just say is maybe the most useless thing for them to give away. Because
yeah, I think it gets rid of the barrier of entry, though, for those who might want to check it out.
oh, don't get me wrong, they're cool and people love them, but literally all it is a set of images uploaded to the store and then charging money for it. It is, I don't want to say the laziest thing you can do, because you need to have artistic powers, as I call them, superpowers, because I don't have them, to make the art. But it's not a game, it's not an application, there's no connectivity, there's no syncing data, there's no transformation of data going back and forth, there's no security you have to worry about, there's no ongoing server fees you got to worry about. You literally design artwork and upload it.
All right. And having said that, it's time to say goodnight. Thanks everybody for hanging out with us. You are literally the reason we do this show. I mean, we could get together and talk, but we wouldn't need the fancy lights and mics and stuff. We could just be on Voxer. You are the reason that we do this. So thanks for your participation. We talk about Patreon as if everybody knows what it is. Let me give you just a quick 30-second primer on what Patreon is. In the old days, you patrons would support artists. So somebody would pay for an artist because they appreciated their work. They weren't buying pieces of art. They were supporting the life of the artist. Patreon is the digital version of that. You're not paying for podcast. You're supporting the life of the podcaster. Patreon.com. It's a simple, easy way to set it and forget about it. And you can set limits on, you can say, no matter what, I don't want to be charged more than $10 a month on a credit card or something like that. And you do that. It's super simple. It's easy. It's not only a way to throw some money to the people you like, but it's a way to stand up and be counted. That's the way I look at it. More than the money, it's you're putting yourself out there and saying, I support these artists and what they do. I am a Patreon. I'm a supporter of these people. So go check it out. We appreciate your undying devotion. The fans of this show are definitely devoted, and I thank you for bringing me along. Still the noob among the group, but I'm happy to be here. And we'll see you next time, because that's it for this episode of the Android App Addicts podcast.
Stop your audacities.
Audacity. Yeah, thank you, Mark. I honestly have been meaning on more than one show to literally just sit down and break down what Patreon is. I literally falsely just assume, oh yeah, everyone knows what it is. Bang. Okay. Oh my goodness. I gotta stop on 466. Saving.
466, you said?
One of the shows I did recently, I forgot to stop my recorder, and I came back and it had recorded like 74 hours of room silence.
Well, I'm happy you didn't like fill up your drive and cause it to go boom.
No, it did fill up the drive, but it failed gracefully.
Good. I have done that, but I'll also say to me it's been a while. So how can this be? Oh, there it is. Okay. 460. Export. Oh man.
Good show, guys. Glad to be back, man.
Okay, guys. Yeah, I'll find out the date. I'm going to Florida for the week. I'm pretty sure it's in June.
Okay. 2 weeks from now, I will not be here.
Memorial Day?
No,
Close to it?
No, it's before that. I think it's 17th-ish, something like that. Let me look here. I pull my calendar. It would be the 18th. I'm going to be out of town.
Gotcha.
And I think, if I remember, now that I've been to every place once, I think I can remember where I may or may not have done a show from and had internet connectivity.
Gotcha.
I'm thinking this was not one. I don't know.
6. Okay, now close that. I need to bookmark this one. Control C. Yeah, Control V. Need to bookmark some of the stuff I didn't bring. And I'll blame the fact that I'm tired and exhausted, lack of sugar, sugared beverages. This has been about a month. You would think by now, maybe.
Do you get any headaches from getting off of that stuff?
Oh, hell yes.
I bet.
Yeah, I mean, that's the only way I can answer that. Oh, hell yeah. Yeah. Enough fun headaches. Okay, so video manager. Come on, baby. Okay, upload. Yeah, I don't know. It was sugar and caffeine and whatever. All I know was, man, phew. Here for well over a week. Just hurt.
I got off of caffeine for a couple months. That's brutal.
It's the drug, literally.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to do it again. I learned my lesson. I will drink coffee every morning forever.
Okay,
so is my promo what you were looking for?
Oh yeah. All I wanted to do was have you. I sent you a boxer. Sorry. Was just re-record one part, because here's the reason why. You actually sent the perfect frigging promo, Mark, because you said something, you paused. You said something, you paused. You said something, you paused. Then, to me, you mistakenly said if you match 2 or more of these, then you might, kind of thing. I need you to instead just say, if this sounds like you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take those beginning parts and cut them and make like 6 different promos. Do you know what I mean?
All right. I mean, I was going for like a cigarette commercial ad, kind of thing, like a drug ad.
Right.
This is you.
For some reason,
any questions?
That boxer. I see it here now. I'm listening to it now. All right. So
This is
Yeah. So here's
you
what
should
you
be able to just edit that one word out or second out pretty easily.
No, not me. You spoke very quickly. Because, I mean, here it is.
You've answered yes to more than 2 of these questions, then Android.
Did you hear that?
Yeah.
If you've answered yes to more than 2 of these questions. So I just say, just if you can, just hit record right now and just say, if you answered yes to this question. And that's all I need, because then I can take 5, 6 pro modes. 4, 5.
Well, now you've thrown down a gauntlet. I have to try it.
Yeah. When I edit that kind of stuff, to me, it's obvious for at least me to hear.
Mobile hardware discussion. If you've answered yes. If you've answered yes to too much. Yeah.
Now, I need it.
If you've answered yes to more than 2 of these. All right. So you want me to just say, let me. Ever take your phone with you to the bathroom? If you've answered yes to more than 2 of these questions, then Android. Actually, you could probably just skip that whole section right there and just say, then Android App Addicts is for you. Ever take your phone with you to the bathroom? Then Android App Addicts is the show for you. Android apps, just leave out the if you've answered yes thing altogether. Or do you actually want me to say you'd answered yes?
Your call.
I don't have a strong opinion either way. Let's see. If you've answered yes,
Oh, yeah. Okay. Can we kill the live stream? Thank you guys for listening.